Hey everybody, it's your girl Millichun. Welcome to Millichun TV. And my special guest today is L-Train. I know him from Twitter. His reviews are amazing. His page is amazing. Thank you so much for being here with me today.
Thank you for having me, and hello to you.
Thank you. We've been watching Love and Marriage Huntsville. We've been going through all these things. So we have about a minute and we will get into it because I have a lot to say about this episode. Do you have a lot to say about the episode?
I can. It's kind of like some of this is kind of repetitive history
Uh-huh.
as far as the drama part,
Mm-hmm.
So that's the end part, the Mel and Martell stuff. So that's yeah.
Okay, well let's just go on and let's just get started. So the first part, we'll just get Stormy going. How did you feel about Stormy and her decision to let her cousin go?
I wish we had more background. I mean, because since we're just meeting them
Mm-hmm.
and we just got a little inkling as to what's happening with their warehouse and all that with the
Right.
business. Um, I always think it's necessary if it's necessary, to get rid of family. For me, if family is brought in, it's got to be clear cut boundaries. If not, then it's not going to work.
I agree.
Um,
I agree.
I think some people are good at it, and then some people are not. Most of the time, it's the negative.
Most
It
of the time.
doesn't work out. Yeah.
I agree with you. Like, we don't have a lot of backstory, but you can kind of see how it started. You know, um, I'm not saying working with family is not lucrative or easy or hard. I'm sure it's hard because you could see where she was trying to make that decision last night to fire her cousin. That was difficult for her.
Hmm.
But I will say this on a personal note. I have a friend who actually ordered the body butter from her. And remember when she said that she's losing out on money because, there are 5,000 orders in the rear.
Hmm.
So she's losing out on money because she's having to send out extra items. And my friend got not only the body butter that she loves, but she also got like an edge control. And I'm sure the edge control, like it was a full size edge control. So I'm sure it was, you know, expensive, not
Hmm.
$20. So if you sending out $20 edge control to
Yes.
500 people because their orders are late, that's a
Hmm.
big hit.
Right. Right. And it's a continuous thing as far as how um, what's it? Stormy was talking about. They always got to do it. I'm sorry, your
Yeah,
package was late. I'm sorry that no. After a while, it's too much.
yeah.
You so
And
I
and then she,
understand.
and then she had like Courtney. I could tell there was Courtney's brother back there working. So it is family, it is friends, and most, like she just needs to bring in people to help her because she 5,000 orders. That's a lot of orders.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I know at the beginning, Junior, he was talking about they need more hands. Of
Mm,
course, Stormy was saying that, well, there's not much production going on right now with you guys, and
right.
I need you guys to pick it up. Because let's say there's 8 people in the warehouse right now. They hire another 8, and they come in and see y'all doing the same thing. It's going to be the same production. It's just going to be more hands, more overhead that's going on. So I think that they need a team that they can whip into shape,
Right.
uh, possibly some warehouse managers that could, or team leaders or something to that nature. It looks like with Junior, he just lost his steam
Yeah.
and motivation to do whatever he needed to do.
Right.
And at least with him, the focus was on him.
And like
Um,
AC says right here, they only have 5 workers. If you
mm,
have that type of production, that type of demand, five
hmm
people are not going to be. like 5 people should be on the first particular thing that you need doing, not the entire process.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I felt, I was happy that she let Junior go because she
Mm-hmm.
should have, because he was the most lackadaisical. He had the worst attitude about everything, I thought.
Yeah. And then he had an excuse for everything.
Yes.
And but then he's trying to act like, oh, it's no big deal, I'm late, or I can't help traffic and all this good stuff. It's like
Leave
I
early.
right.
I
But it's
I
like,
lived in Huntsville for 4.5 years.
hmm,
It's traffic, but just like when you live in anywhere else, if you know that there is traffic at 5 o'clock, then you need to leave at 4 so you can get where you need to go on time.
right. And it seems like he was trying to get away or skate as much as possible,
Yes.
to see how far he could go. And
Yes.
now the rubber has met the road, and you
It's a
gone, sir.
problem. It's a problem.
Yeah. So I don't think he put his best foot forward, probably in the beginning, because they did say that he used to be the life of the party. But
Hmm.
then after a while, for whatever reason, he did lose his motivation and his respect for his cousin's business, and also just his job in general. So,
Right.
um,
And Tammy said if the leader isn't showing positive examples, the subordinates will do the same. And that is the truth. Like, and somebody said, I saw on TikTok, somebody was making a comment on the original Pot Stirrers page. And they said that why would you show the downside of your business? That doesn't make people want to purchase from you because it looks like you don't know what you're doing. Do you agree with that?
no,
No? Okay.
not all the way. I mean, if it was customer service
Hmm.
and you're getting all these complaints about this and that, that's one thing.
Okay.
But if you're seeing the inside dealings of me trying to get stuff together and my business is still operable
Hmm.
and my customers are satisfied, you're just seeing the inside of what's going on. That doesn't mean that our business is bad. We got to get our internal business together. But
Well, what do you think about? Because, see, like, I'm going to go into marriage and medicine real quick, just a real quick step. So, the dentist on marriage and medicine, um, I I said that I wouldn't patronize her
mm,
because of the way she is on television. There's no way I would let her work in my mouth. That would be crazy. But
mhm,
um so watching everything play out on the internet, everything playing out on social media, does that show her in a different light as a business
mm,
person? I see what AC was saying here. Because
mhm,
sometimes your perception can mess up what somebody thinks about you. I like Stormy. I like
mhm,
Stormy. She's a fellow Mississippian, and I feel like she does have a storyline. I think she can hold her own, but I just don't know about having her business like this on TV. I think I agree. Like sometimes you look at it because people look at things and be like, well, they don't know what they're doing. Like I don't want to be a part of that. Plus, a lot of people have said they've ordered things from her and they have not received them. But now we
mhm,
see why.
mhm.
So maybe they'll be more patient with her.
Yeah, I think it's interesting for me because I've seen other like businesses. It's mostly restaurant. On the Food Network, they got Restaurant Impossible, and this guy comes in every week or to a different establishment,
Hmm.
see what's going on, see how to turn it around, whether it's management, even giving it a renovations or things of that nature, and see if the business can run
You
or
said
run
things.
better.
You said things of that nature. That just triggered me a little bit.
Uh oh.
I okay, okay. I'm back with you.
I won't say that one. Let's see
Woo!
something else.
Woo! Go ahead.
Something in the neighborhood. No, I don't
Yes.
know.
Okay, that's better.
Okay.
I can't with
So
things of that nature.
Yeah. I think, well, for me, it's hard because I've always been inside of businesses working either in administration or even in warehouse, just like them. I've had two types of, I've seen the inside and I've seen the ugly stuff. And I've seen where, like, I've been like a pillar to a lot of businesses
Mm-hmm.
and to get them to a certain place. Um, when I live in Florida. When I first got here, my first job, they were just opening their business and had horrible everything, trying to get this business off the ground.
Okay.
But I was there for everything. We saw they're trying to patronize the more wealthy people,
Okay.
just to put you in that mind frame. And I'm not there anymore, but I'm hearing now that the business is pretty well together
Mm-hmm.
from the inside and also for the outside, as far as people, the ones that um, are customers. So I don't know how long Campus Beauty has been along, but maybe it's still. I won't say it could be in a toddler stage right now,
Yeah.
and things are going to happen. I mean, I don't think that we should expect what's the Amazon. We should, well, even though Amazon got some stuff going on there,
Yeah.
but if we're just expecting this excellence up front, it may
Right.
not be there. And at least she was able to open up to us and say, "Hey, I'm still trying to get my stuff together. I still have a good product,
Right.
and you can see where I'm at, and you can see where I'm trying to get to." And I think that that is still a good story to tell, and to
I
see where she.
I agree with you on that. I can see where you're coming from, and that makes sense. I get that. I get that. So I really hope that Stormy has. I hope she has really good like turnout. I hope that everything works, but I hope she becomes really big because, from my understanding, Canvas Beauty is big. I
Mhm.
have seen it in the stores. So I wish her nothing but luck. So
Yeah.
let's go on to, let's see what else. Marceau and Martell's conversation. Is that what we want to go to next? Oh no, Mel and her meetings.
Hmm.
What do you think about that? She's got a lot going on.
Yeah, she does, and I don't think that I haven't realized how much she has going on.
Me either. I didn't know that.
Um, yeah, I don't follow her like that,
Mhm.
anyways. So it's like, okay, you got your hand in this and that. But I was just seeing it as a board meeting
Right.
with what I said as business managers, and this one's over this one and that, and they're setting her up for whatever the upcoming year.
Right.
Um, I really liked it as first to know what she had going on, and
Mhm.
maybe that's why she takes long breaks after the season is over.
Right.
And um, I think we've needed this for a while just to know. And it's cool to see what we can look forward to. Maybe she's going to be able to show more than
Mhm.
just the packaging skincare line or her skincare line.
Right. Because that's what
Let's.
we see. That's what we see on Instagram. We see her packing. We see her posting receipts. We see all of that. But she is doing a lot. And Tammy says it looks like Mel's team is too big. But I think with what everything she's trying to do, like everybody had a title.
Mhm.
So everybody had an area where they were working at for her to, for her greatness. So
Yeah.
I don't think the team is too big, but I definitely feel like she has enough. She has a
Mhm.
manager. She has somebody working on overseas stuff. She has somebody working on, her beauty line. So I feel like she's where she needs to be, and maybe not add any more people. But
Mhm.
on to Marceau and Martell's conversation. Now, this is just a lot for me. Like, you got the supreme gaslighter talking to the supreme narcissist. And that is where I stand. I really, I really have formed an opinion about Martell, and I'm gonna try to keep that to myself as much as possible because I do talk about these shows. So I
Mm-hmm.
have to remain, even and not on someone's side or whatever. But when he was talking to Marceau and he was saying, like, I can't believe she's friends with Tisha. Like Tisha and I realized they have a TV show to make, right? So I got that part. But Tisha and Mel not being friends, because we've seen it in other seasons. But when it comes to the children, it kind of doesn't really matter because if they're friends, of course they want to come to the birthday party. And then it's
Mm-hmm.
on TV. So why wouldn't she invite Tisha and her girls to the birthday party? And then I feel like Marcel was just trying to throw a wrench in the system and just trying to make an argument for himself. What did you
Mm-hmm.
think about that?
Okay. I'll bring balance to that from an audience member, and
Okay.
then also him seeing what happened at reunion when Tisha didn't said that she got a dark soul, a dark heart, or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, so y'all friends again? I can see it in that way,
Yeah.
but then I also see it as how Mel has said how Martell has tried to turn everybody against her.
Yes.
So what do you think? Like, what? He could use that angle of what happened on the reunion, but there's also been this manipulation that's been going on behind the scenes, according to Mel,
Yeah.
and it kind of just looks that way, anyways. That everyone's kind of it's been a Mel against everyone in a way, you know. But so that's where I give my balance to in that situation.
Okay. So when Martell sat back and Marceau told him that Tisha and the girls were going to the party, and he was like, they don't even like each other, whatever. And he was like, I don't know why she does that. Um, I feel like he is just not able to, for real, like understand the paperwork, the judge's order, and all of that because I I know that this is his reasoning. And if he would just, for me, if he would just come out and say, I messed up. I realize that everything that's going on, what Mel is doing, why she doesn't, why I don't have her number, why I can't come to this party is my fault. But he won't do that. And he looks really bad out here. You know what I'm saying? He just looks bad to me because it's like he's forcing something on someone and he is the creator of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. It's. I think he was upset. Like, how could Tisha go, but I can't go? Like,
Right.
but it was still a children's party, and
Right.
at some point, the Scotts and the Holtz were pretty close, and
Right.
those children were growing up together, I believe, if I remember correctly. So why wouldn't they want to go to that? And it's still a children's party, but
Exactly.
so it's like him. He just wants he does not want to take that responsibility and just say I'm the villain in this story.
Right. He does not. And Tisha did not have a baby on Mel. So there's that.
Mm. Yeah, most definitely.
So I'm trying to think, was any what else was going on because I'm ready to get to the end of it. Like
Regard. Well,
when she, huh? I'm sorry.
they talked about the core six or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I heard Tisha when she said, "Well, I might need to get with the Scott. I mean, I might need to get with the Holtz. I need to get back in there." But I feel like Kimmy was asking the right questions that needed to be asked because the simple fact is, it was Tisha and Marceau up there on that screen.
Mm-hmm.
What are we getting paid for this? And I feel like Tisha took offense when Kimmy said, "You got people on certain levels." And I said
Mm-hmm.
in my review, I mean, Mel is on a bigger level. Like her or not like her, she just is. Whether
Mm-hmm.
she is really doing all this, her perception is big.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah. I'm sorry. The theme tonight or last night is familiar connections.
Okay.
We seen it with the Steels, the Scotts, Holtz, and the Holtz. Yeah, it's like these familiar connections trying to find their ways to manipulate to get their way in some type of way. With Junior, now Scott's 1.0 wants you to do everything for free,
Yep.
and then Martell thinking that he's just going to run stuff because he think he can and just come into a birthday party and do
Yep.
stunts and shows. So that's
Whew.
what I kind of just titled this episode of being.
I mean, it was just really crazy to me. So let's just get to the party. Let's just
Okay.
get there because we talked about Stormy. Kimmy said what she said, and I think that Tisha does have a lot to think about, and I feel like Tisha really kind of doesn't know what she's doing, so she's just kind of having a meeting so everybody can give her ideas, and then she'll figure it out. But I really think at the end of the day, she and Marceau just need to handle that.
Pay people for their time worth if you're gonna have them. That's
That's
it.
right. Okay, so this was triggering to me, this whole thing, because I've personally gone through a divorce where a child was involved, and that is difficult. You know what I mean? Because if you are thinking about your children, you are going to definitely do the best thing for your children.
Mm-hmm.
And Martell just coming to that party and not leaving when asked to leave is just so disrespectful. He looks disrespectful. He looked unhinged. The way he yelled at Van, and I think that was a producer, because it was Van and another lady standing there. And then, Chris Fletcher was there, and then Mel was there. And he was like, call the cops. I'm not leaving my kid's party. And the problem for me is that he walked on into the party. Even though he left, he walked on in like, I'm going to leave when I get ready to leave. That right there for me was, I am off of Martell Holt. Off of him.
Mm-hmm. That was just totally wrong. And I do, tweet, but also some things I just don't read. But tonight I just was reading Mel's tweets, and she was
Okay.
telling what was really going on.
Okay.
Well, first, he was talking about, I guess last year he wasn't invited to the girls' party.
Right.
Because I think there was like 56 days that she had custody of him.
Right.
And she said that wasn't true. I did invite you to the party. You just didn't come for whatever reason.
For whatever reason.
Yeah. So he said, for how I could just say how Mel was, she was still trying to compromise with him because she said, you can have her later today.
Right.
And obviously, I guess that's not what he wanted to do. But what I did see a sign that there was a private party from, I think it was 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. So 1 p.m. the party is over. Martell, you had all day to do that.
All day.
Martell didn't bring no gifts.
Nope.
So why did you come? And he did not pick them up later on. That's what Mel said. So it's like, what are you doing? Like, it seemed like a stunt for a camera to make it look like Mel is being unreasonable.
Yes.
And it's like, and people can fall for that because it's like, it's for the child. Just let him come on in. But It's like, there's some boundaries that Mel has set that she's not inching off of it anymore. You've had your chances. Like, even last year, I thought it was just such a wonderful thing for Martell to have when they went on that trip.
It was, and that was big for Mel. And I know that was a difficult decision for her. Well, I'm just going to say, I feel like it was a difficult decision for her. Mm-hmm. Because, you got your kids. And like I said, the children are the most important people in this situation. So if you're going to go on a trip where we went as a family, let me just go on and invite their dad. And
Right.
hopefully, and that was really messed up because he and his mother was invited, and then you got the nerve to invite people to this thing. That was crazy to me.
He's still trying to pull rank. It's like he doesn't know submission. He just
No.
knows he just knows domination.
And I will say this because I said this in my review, and as someone who's gone through divorce, at this point, like Mel is really gonna have to stick with that paperwork. Like I know she has to film a TV show. I don't know if she needs to talk to Carlos, the producers. I don't know what she needs to do. But she needs to have her custody order with her all the time because if you notice, she said it's an odd year. I don't even have to let you have them. That's in her custody paperwork, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like for me personally, like our daughter has made a decision that she wants to be with her mom and her dad when she wants to. So she'll call me and say, well, mommy, I want you to pick me up so and so day. Or daddy, I want you to pick me up this day. And we do that because it's
Mm-hmm.
for her happiness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
when you have the paperwork and you're not able to make those types of decisions, you got to stick with the paperwork. And
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't deal with authority well. Maybe Mel needs a security guard or something when she has something for the kids. Because like you said, he came with nothing.
Yeah.
And like someone said in the comments, Amy, he came in there to act the fool. That's exactly what he came to do. And he
Mm-hmm.
did. And
Mm-hmm.
like he doesn't understand the way he looks on television. It's crazy. And
It does.
if I'm Shereé, I'm looking at him like, why you so mad? Like, if I'm supposed to be your lady, like, why you so mad? Like, why you so mad at Mel? She told you don't come, and you went anyway. And then for what? You went in there to hug the kids and leave? You could have done that after the party when you picked them up. Are we gonna see his party next week?
Mm. Lord, I don't even know if we could talk about Shereé for a minute because it's like you're seeing the same person that Bob Whitfield was to you, lady.
Yes.
uh,
Oh my God.
but you defend him and we're having fun or we're together, but then he says that there's no label to it. I don't get what's going on there, but who cares? But it's like you're seeing this
You're seeing
and
it.
and you still want to entertain it. Maybe that's why they're not putting the label on anything, but I just don't know how
It's giving
much.
it's giving storyline.
Yeah, it definitely is. I'm trying not to go there with this lady. I'm trying to see what goes on during this season and all that. But
Yeah.
it's like giving her something to go on, but I know what's up. But it's like, lady, you have the same thing going on with that. You have the same thing going on with you, and you still want to repeat it. And then now everybody else is crazy and a fool for calling stuff out that they see and know. No.
Right. Right. And this is Sheree's life. This is what she's used to. Like it seems like this is her comfortable setting from Bob. It was somebody else between Bob and Tyrone, and then you got Tyrone. And somebody was like, if you had to choose between Tyrone and Martell, I would choose Tyrone every day. Every day I choose Tyrone. Like it's not a question. That easy. That would be so easy for me. But
Hmm.
I feel like that part when she told him to leave and he walked in and the kids hugged him. Of course, they was glad to see their father. That's their father. It's the girl's birthday. But then
Right,
you
right.
leave out on your own. That I'm glad Mel was able to bounce back from that.
Yeah. That is interesting because you know how Mel can get because they do know each other's triggers.
Right.
I'm surprised she didn't go off like she usually does.
Me too. But the kids were there. It was the kids
Yeah,
there. I think that's the only thing that saved her from doing that.
yeah. Oh, I do know what was going on when he started yelling. So, what Mel tweeted last night is that Martell brought along other people with him. I
Oh,
think some more family members.
okay.
Um, and they were out there along with Miss Van. And according to Mel, Martell's family started speaking. Sorry about the darkness.
Okay.
Um, family started speaking, and Van said, "I guess you're not even in this." And that's when um, Martell yelled, "You're not even in this either," or whatever he said.
Yeah.
So it has something. There was more being said behind the scenes that I didn't catch on camera or on a mic or whatever. So
Right.
so it was a horrible decision to try to do that, and you're just making it worse and worse and worse on you, sir. And I don't think there's ever going to be trust. I don't think you ever really want to work on yourself, not for real.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I don't know what you're telling this therapist or whoever you're going
I
to.
don't even think he's doing that. That nothing he does shows any therapy session has helped me do this.
Hmm.
Nothing he does shows me that. I don't. I mean, it's so aggravating because
Hmm.
even when she was like she was about to leave and go to her car, and he was trying to walk her to the car, and I'm like, do you just leave the girl alone?
Leave her. Leave it alone.
And I know it's TV, and I know it could be, I'm playing devil's advocate. It could be
Hmm.
Mel and Martell. Not saying that they're just on point with each other, but they could say, "Well, let's just do this." I'm not saying it's happening. It could
Yeah.
be, but
Hmm.
her, her facial expressions, her body, the way it's positioned, is aggravated.
Hmm.
Cause I'm sitting in here aggravated when I watch it,
Hmm. Hmm. Most definitely.
and I just don't think that like he did an interview and he was saying how he doesn't want the children on the show. Did you see that?
I did. I remember him saying that. And
So go ahead. I'm sorry.
then I think he said that he was going to stop it from happening for the future. I'm like,
Hmm.
really? Okay.
Yeah,
but I
but
don't
you
think
know
that
why that is. But you know why that is, though, right?
so that he don't. Well, I don't know. What do you
Well,
think?
I feel like they have been involved in this show for so long, and there's so
Hmm.
much that he has, so much of his life that has been put out here,
Hmm.
and because his wording is, "This is a show for adults." It's been a show for adults. But you just, you just the adult who is looking horrible. And Martell does not want to be embarrassed. He does not want to be shown up. He does not want to look bad in anybody's eye. But he's the main one causing
Yeah.
the problems.
Yeah. If he knew how much a little ounce of respect we could have for him if he showed some type of humility.
Right?
I mean, we know what you did, but you want to paint this picture of this villain as while you're the anti-hero. You just don't, or not the anti-hero. You just want to look a certain way. You want to save face and have this arrogance and pride about yourself.
Hmm.
That's that's destroying you on the inside and destroying everything about you and what you had at least portrayed for so many years.
Right.
And you don't even have the intelligence to get off television at this point. You just want to keep going down, 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 down.
Well, I don't think he can get off television. Is
Right.
anybody out there? Has anyone out here purchased Inez wine? And are we going to hear about Inez wine? I went to
Mm.
my Total Wine and Food place, and they don't even know what I'm talking about when I ask for it. They have no idea what I'm talking about. Man, what do you mean this wine? No, no, Inez. I put a picture on the bottle. They had no idea what I was talking about. Like, where is the wine? And are we going to hear about it? Where's the
Yeah.
cookbook? Where's the calendar? And then back up. The fact that Marceau is helping him pass his builder's license test, that's
Mm.
staged. Like, we don't even want to see that on the show because we know better.
Mm.
Because he's already said he's not taking the test anymore. Did
It's
he forget
almost it's almost like he needs people to film with at this point
that? Yes, he
because
does.
he doesn't know what to do without Mel. That's
And
what
it
I keep seeing.
shows. And it shows. Timmy said it's Stella Rosa. But but it's like he doesn't know what to do without Mel. And he's not a leader. Like Martell is not even a man who could lead me to the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? Let alone in life. Like there's no way. There's no way he could tell me how to get salt out of the cabinet. He could not lead me to do that
Hmm.
because he's just like he's lackadaisical. He doesn't follow through on anything.
Hmm.
He's definitely a bandwagon person. He can't even speak. That's why Carlos was on this whole tour with him, this media tour, because they won't let him go out to speak. Mel does not need anybody. Tisha and Marcel go out and talk. Like Kimmy talks. They can't let Martell go out and say anything.
Yeah. I think she was a public speaker for a while, I think, or something to that nature.
Well,
I think.
definitely he is
He
definitely
didn't.
not. No, he did not.
But I heard that he was a school teacher.
He was. And
But
it was probably a gym teacher.
uh,
I don't think he was actually working with curriculum. I really don't. I think it was just like dodgeball and jump rope. I think that's about it.
okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah, I think that was it. But like he just doesn't follow through. And even when he was on Dish Nation and they were asking him about the situation with him in Kenya,
Mm,
and Carlos was sitting there and it looked like he wanted to kick him because Carlos being a producer, he's like let it all play out on the show, right?
right,
But
right.
when the girl asked him about him and Kenya's situation, he was like, I took my phone because I saw it in the preview where he had his phone and he threw it on the table. I took my
Mm,
phone, I opened it up, I showed this, and all it said was this. And Carlos was like, don't give it away. Like that's how I
mm,
felt he was looking at him because he just doesn't know. He doesn't know how to be discreet at all.
mm,
He's
mm,
he's definitely doesn't have control of himself. So I feel like he is completely coming unhinged
mm.
and they're just gonna have to be finding things for him to do on the show.
That's how it is. I would like to see him pick himself up, but it's like he's not. He's trying to use all these people as crutches and
And
um
excuses,
yes, excuses.
excuses. He
Ugh.
is he has the most excuses of anybody.
I wish he had really just taken things to heart when they went on that trip, but then he just had to mess that up. That was your way in, and she
Yes,
was letting you in, and you just
yes,
messed it up, dude.
yes.
I hate that he did that. God,
And then
but
and it's just horrible because I know how long it took me to get to a point where I can literally have where we can literally have a conversation. And like with Mel, and people always say, like, I don't like Mel. She cheated too. This had happened. Okay, you don't like her. I get it. And everybody has whatever. I get it. But my thing is, I don't think anybody on any reality or scripted show that we've ever watched, I don't know, just correct me if I'm wrong, has allowed their whole demise show out like that. And then, because Carlos said that Mel and Martell are the only two people ever on TV to go through a divorce and have to continue to work together.
mm,
Like, I feel like her time away is her being away from what's going on and trying to decompress. Could you
hmm
imagine going on set to talk to somebody, work with somebody, film with somebody who's just sent you some paperwork from a constable
mm,
wanting to sue you for full custody of your children?
hmm
That's difficult.
hmm it takes much for straight because you
Yes,
want to go over that table and slap them or whatever,
absolutely.
you know.
And then
It,
we see him next week talking about not going into the party.
mhm. So I'm like, at this point, I don't care. You caused it. You made it happen to yourself, um, and you still could have had a party for your children, but you chose not to because you think that you belong at a male event, which doesn't make any
Yes,
sense.
yes, because like you said, he doesn't have any. He has
No
no
bound.
identity without her.
Yeah, it's like you could have definitely thrown a party. You could have did something on your own. I know he said something about Mariah sent an email to him saying she wanted her to come. Oh, Mel also, I don't know if I said this. Mel said that on a tweet that
Hmm.
he knew a week prior that he was not invited. He knew the day before he was not invited, and even the day of, because they had talked before concerning those at least two times. He knew he wasn't invited, and he still showed up and still acting a monkey.
Yes, he did.
So, that's on you. And possibly what could have fueled things is when Marceau told him that, oh, teacher's going to be there. It's like,
Yeah.
well, I need to be there. You know, like
Yes.
I
That,
think
that
that's
does
what he thinks.
that does not equal up to you being there. That has nothing to do with it. Tisha Mel is probably trying to, you know, create a relationship again with Tisha so that they can go through this journey together on this show to make sense. Because I can't, Tisha did not have a baby on me. So I don't have that kind of animosity against her. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
Hmm.
And I L-Train, I cannot with Martell. I cannot. I simply
Um,
cannot.
I wish someone could just shake him, just not in a physical way, but I
No,
wish.
physically.
I know you,
Physically
but,
shake.
but it's like, dude, you had it all, you
You had
lost
it.
it, and now everyone else has to pay for what you aren't able to live up to, and
Right.
even giving second, third, fourth, fifth, 100 chances, you still just want to be a trashy dude,
You just want
and
to trashing.
it, it's there. It's some inner work that you're gonna have to do, and it's gonna be intense for you because nobody in your life has given you boundaries, and this lady said, "I'm giving it to you now," and you're gonna be there. You're just gonna be mad and just be a
Yes.
lunatic out here.
You are so right. No one in his life has given him any boundaries. Let's go on back to Marlene,
Yeah,
the number one enabler of Martell.
yeah,
Because in one breath, she'll say, you know, like when they found out about the baby, she's like, I can't, what you gonna do now? You're gonna end up in divorce. And then the next thing she says, but you're a good man, Martell.
yeah.
No, Marlene, he is not. He is not.
I think she has this.
They said
I
if
think
you don't
she's.
take up Martell,
I think
that's rough. That's
uh,
rough.
she has this way of just saying, "That's my boy,"
Yeah.
still wanting to be in his corner, but just not wanting to tell him the truth about himself. I know that she comes from a different era. She
Hmm.
comes from having to do it on her own. She doesn't even understand, I don't think, relationship,
Yeah.
Um,
I think she comes from a an era where, you know, you got a man, just keep your man.
yeah.
Men,
So
men are gonna do what men are gonna do. That's why he
that's
gave. That's why he gave Mel that bogus story talking about, you know, in the Bible times, men had 15 women. If you don't pack your stuff and get out of here and get out of my face,
what's up, sir. Well,
that's
at,
crazy.
at one point he was going to church and he said that he went to the altar and was trying to pray away. If you remember that, I remember that
Oh my god,
episode.
I remember that. I remember that. That was
So it's,
crazy.
yeah. The only reason why I I don't expect much from Miss Marlene. I understand her mentality, so I don't even get mad. Everybody else getting mad at her, but it's like, look, she from that era. That's just not
Yeah.
going. She knows. She knows what she knows from her era. So, and we're just in a new day where people are wanting respect and honor and
Exactly.
loyalty and people that could fulfill them. not just in the bed, not just if you can pay my bill. Who,
Right.
like it's more than that as far as relationship, and we're not settling. Shout out to Miss Ebony K. Williams.
That's right. Not settling. Ooh,
Yeah,
that's a whole nother lie. People were really they felt a certain way about that, but I
right,
won't
right, right.
go. But anyway, but I feel like this is. Let me ask you this.
Mhm.
Somebody said Jamie Coleman said maybe Madea can help. Madea would have to take
I
like she
mean,
would no.
I mean, he'll be dead. That's it.
It'll
End of
be over.
story.
Well, let me ask you this. How
Hmm.
do you feel about the show? Like, because it's different now. So how do you
Hmm.
feel about I think it's different. How do you feel about the show?
It is different, and there's a shift going on, and I think we gotta. I'm trusting the process.
Okay.
I'm trusting what um, Mr. Carlos King has given to us. Shout out to
Okay.
him. Um, and seeing where things go. I'm trusting his word and see how things play out. I'm not going to judge the season as of yet. I mean,
Okay.
it's still like 5 episodes in, and I think by episode 2, that's when uh, Carlos went down to Huntsville and had his talk with them and said, "Hey, get this together."
I think it was after Madani, right?
No,
Oh, okay.
no,
Okay.
because he said it was after a reunion or so that he went
Okay.
down there.
Okay.
So, so he was like, let's get this together. So that's why I'm not tripping so much. I know some people
Okay.
say it is boring, but I mean, but y'all don't want that drama that was there before. So let's let these people regroup and try to tell new stories.
Right.
At least Scott 1.0 is trying to do something different. Some people don't believe it, but I'll just leave it there.
It may
Uh,
come back to the comeback group. Like it feels like the comeback group, but
yeah,
they're
I
trying to
think
disguise it.
they're trying to show us something different instead of just all this drama. A lot of times it was just Mel against the world, or
Hmm.
Martell and Mel,
Hmm.
or the Scots against the Holts, and things of that nature, or Miss Wanda. They're trying to reform, and I can trust the process
Okay.
for now.
All
What do
right.
you think?
I um I think that for me, like I appreciate the storylines of the Scott point one oh. I appreciate that. And I feel like they're turning into a different direction. I appreciate what Mel is trying to do, without Martell pulling her back somewhere she doesn't want to be. I'm excited to see how Stormy story is. I like Tiffany and Lou. I don't know. They're not at the top of my list, but after Stormy's mom comes on next week, we'll see. Because I mean, I just feel like Martell needs a storyline. And I
Mm,
feel like his storyline does not need to be anything to do with Mel. Because Mel's storyline is not anything to do with him. Right? And I
true.
feel like he can't keep saying, like next week, I went to the party and Mel didn't let me in. Well, sir, did you throw your own party? That could be your storyline. Do your party. Let's see your party next week, and then we can forget all this craziness that happened this past week. So I
Right.
so I think he needs like Martell needs his own thing.
Hmm.
And I
Hmm.
think but what is it? We've already seen a calendar, wine, and a cookbook, and a book. So all that's done. So yeah, like Tammy said, Shereé is coming. Well, in my mind, I feel like today, like this moment, he and Shereé are a wrap. So
Mm,
I feel like what we're gonna be watching is lies at this point, as far as Martell is concerned.
mm.
So
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I'm excited about the show. I'm excited to see where it's going, but I just like you said, I'm just going to watch. I'm gonna trust the process. I'm still in, but
Yeah.
what do you think about the Shereé situation?
I don't know because we don't know anything. We just see pictures of them, and they're just saying well, first it was they're having fun, and then it's like I like being around each other, and then he's talking about that she wants some more children. Okay, why would she? That
But
doesn't even make sense.
she's not gonna have any more children.
No, all of
No,
her children are grown, and now she's about to be a grandma.
she is a
So,
grandma.
so
She is.
it's so what? What are you doing? What are you saying? Like
Yeah.
he wants something different, but I'm for sure that's just not what is on Sheree's plate and
No.
what she's want to do. So I just don't know where this is going for them. It just looks like probably after this season, that's it. That's all we got to see of them. I don't
That's it.
know.
I wonder how many
Yeah.
episodes is he going to be on the Housewives? Because
Mm.
um because he went over there and acted up. Like he just couldn't go over there and be nice and sit down and pay attention. He
No,
he went over there and acted up.
he got that Peter Thomas torch and said, "Let me go get my peach."
Oh my gosh. Could you imagine?
Yeah, yeah. Um, I mean, I'm into whatever drama. I know you're not, but I'm Team Twirl. So
No, I mean, I'm here for it. I'm here for it, but
okay,
I just want it to be right. I just,
yeah,
like with him saying that Shereé is down for one, two, or maybe three kids.
yeah.
How sway is she down for three kids? That is crazy. Three?
She is not. There's no way. There
No,
is no way.
it's clear lies.
Right.
Clear lies.
And if we, this is something I want to talk about concerning Shereé.
Hmm.
What do we really know about her as Shereé?
Nothing.
Nothing.
We don't know anything about Shereé.
We know about Bob and what he was doing,
Yep.
and Tyrone, and
Yep.
then her consistent bickering between Nene and Kim.
Yep.
But then she tries to tell other people that they're using her for storylines. Like, lady, we don't have any depth of you. You
I,
have you have one catchphrase.
I do know that she can't go into is it Neiman Marcus or Saks. I do know she can't go into one of those stores. She's banned from one of those. That I know for sure. And my friend worked in there. I think it was Saks. So she can't go in there.
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
We do know that she's been putting out a line she by Shereé for 30 years. We do know that. But that's about it. Like Shereé doesn't have anything. People talk about her mom, her house is in her mom's name. We've heard that.
oh!
Um,
I could tell you stuff about that, but go ahead.
oh no,
Okay,
you go ahead.
okay. So part of my job, how can I put it in? We send out what's called notices to owners,
Okay.
and basically to let you know if there's not a payment. Let's say a service is done at your home or whatever, and it's more construction type work. If the service is not done, then we're going to put a lien on this house. If they're not paid, I mean, I'm sorry. So anyway, so I'm able to research, deeds and all of that.
Hmm.
At one point, it was in her mom's name, but it's flipped from Shereé to her daughter, the oldest daughter, to the mom, and now it's in an LLC name.
Her house?
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah. It was like when the mom, I think she had it first, and then it was Shereé, then it was in her daughter's name, and then it flipped over into this company's name, and it's been like that for years now.
What?
I apologize, LJ. The room's about soundproof, so we can hear you.
So what would happen if she doesn't make good on her mortgage? Is going to the LLC?
I mean, at least it won't fall back on her,
Mm-hmm.
because now it's not in her name per se, and that's what a lot of people do is that they'll put in an LLC. If you remember, if you watch Potomac,
Yes.
that's what Michael Darby did to
Ashley
Ashley.
was doing. Okay.
So
Oh
yes,
wow.
so a lot of people do that, or they put it in a what's it called, a trust. They'll put it in a
Got
trust.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. So Shereé has put her home in an LLC.
Hmm.
Oh my God.
So that's how it's been for years now.
Really?
Hmm.
Because you
Hmm.
know, like the question is, what is Shereé doing? Because she is an OG housewife, right? She definitely was there at the beginning,
Hmm.
but she didn't follow all the way through because she had that little lapse where they let her go. They brought her back as a friend of, and then they finally gave her a peach again.
Hmm.
So during that lapse, that's when she had that conversation with Iyanla, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And she's trying to figure out, like, I think everybody's trying to figure out, how did you finish this house? How did you decorate this house? Like did Tyrone have somebody from the streets? Like I don't know what, but
We
like he has
don't
somebody
know.
out here in the streets that's giving you money. Like what is going on?
Right. We don't know anything.
We don't know
You
anything
could,
about Ray.
nope. Because I thought a good story would be tell about your time before you met Bob. What was life like? Because she had to drop out of high school when she got pregnant with her first child.
Okay.
It's like all we know is that you're a divorcee of an ex football player. What was life like like that? You know?
Now I know she had a boutique at some point. I forgot the
Mm,
name of it, but there was somebody on TikTok who did like a rundown of Shereé. So
mhm,
she had a boutique. It went
mm,
under. Like
mm,
she just can't, like clothing is just not her thing. And even Candy had given her some stuff that she could do, like put out water bottles, put out a
mm,
yoga mat. Like people
mhm,
can actually buy that. But
mhm.
then you have this ridiculous website with these ridiculous, you want us to pay $72 for a t-shirt, like cotton with a collar? That is insane.
Even Don Juan, he said for a while he was helping her. I
Really?
think this was like season 10 of Housewives, and he had all this strategy, but she just wouldn't step up to the plate or whatever. So people have been in her corner. So it's like I don't get what's going on with her, but hey, they keep letting her back on. I
Yvette Bell.
want
Yvette Bell said a good storyline for Shereé will be her going back getting her GED.
well,
Yvette, girl, I'm gonna have to agree with you at this point. At this
yeah,
point, y'all, for real, at this point, I would be happy for any storyline. Like, let's go to the GED spot. Let's
yeah.
go to the Inez warehouse. Let's go. I don't know who makes your tight little bitty suits, Martell. Like, I would be happy to see anything other than what's going on right now. Like, I'm sure, like, throw some of that stuff in. I'm not saying get away from it,
Yeah, yeah.
but take my mind off of really disliking you so much. Take my mind off you being a despicable person, because he is a despicable person. I'm
Hmm.
okay saying that. I'm
Hmm.
okay with that. And I know people love Martell, and I get it. You love who you love, you like who you like. But for me, I cannot.
Hmm.
Let
Yeah.
Can we, like we saw Martell with a tutor. Now we see him with Marceau and paperwork. Can we see you in a seat in the testing site? Let's do that.
Hmm. Let's see how you function. Let's see. I, like I'd like to see that, um, or see you practice at home, and let's see
Oh,
what you do.
yeah. Or,
Some.
or can we actually see what he is capable of doing? Let him do a scene with Chris Fletcher where Chris is like, okay, Martell, you get ready to take this test. Let's see what you really remember. How do you get this process started? Because I would like to hear him know the process. Because once he gets this builder license, then what? Because clearly he's never had one.
No. No.
So does he even know what to do?
Well, he can make deals. Remember that one deal with all that land 2 seasons ago? Like, but it's like, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah, I do want better for him, or at least something that I could view differently about him, like you said. So.
I would like something better. I would like something that could change a little bit of my perception of him, just a little bit. Like, and you know what? People always talk about what kind of great father he is, right? But like, are you a great father with this situation you did at the birthday party? Does that make you a great father?
It seems like what his definition of great is because I didn't walk out on Mel. Is basically,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
I'm still around.
Right. She was supposed to just take it and let her husband be at home, and we continue our life.
So it's like, I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know either. I don't know either.
Yeah.
I have no idea because it's crazy to me.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, that's probably the most stagnant story that's on Love and Marriage Huntsville right now.
Mm-hmm. It's very stagnant.
Even Tisha could move on from her. I need to be sisters with Kimmy. Kimmy. That went on for so long.
You're my sister.
You're not loyal. You're not loyal. I'm like, lady.
So she was doing a lot. Like she was stressing Kimmy out.
And
and me. She was stressing us out. I was like, oh my God, she was so needy. But I was just glad to see her, like at the end of the show when she was at the skating. And I was glad, like I like Kiki. So I was very glad to see Kiki. Mm-hmm. And I was glad to see her and Tisha talking. I was glad to see Mel, Kiki, and Tisha talking. Like those three.
No more puppets?
No more puppets. I was really glad to see that.
Yeah, that was interesting. Very interesting. I'm like, okay, so look, well, Yvette, Carlos got through to them. So.
Yeah, now Yvette is right. Tisha is still stuck because Tisha can hold a grudge. She can hold a grudge, but it looks like she's trying to do something. But what I don't want it to feel like is if it's not real. You know what I'm saying? Because we'll feel it if it's not. Yeah,
we'll know that definitely.
We'll know that without a doubt.
And she'll show her card really soon. She's not the one that could hold anything anyway. So
no.
Yeah.
What do you think will happen for real if Mel left the show? Because did you see her interview with Carlos after the first episode? And she said that she really thought about leaving. Did you see that?
Yeah. And he said he didn't even know about it. So
yes, his face showed that.
Yeah. And it's because of Martell and how he is. That's the only thing that was going to get her to leave. Mm-hmm. I think right now she still wants to see the show succeed. Mm-hmm. Possibly if they do something else and they just not film anymore. Even though I hated it last season in a way.
Yeah.
We needed that break last season.
We did.
And for me, the second half, I was like, okay, at least they can start talking again or whatever. I was fine with that until stuff went crazy again.
Right.
So I don't think at this point Mel wants to leave. She's taking extra effort right now to help at least gear things into a different direction. Mm-hmm. I mean, now she's tweeting. She wasn't tweeting.
She wasn't.
So they just stayed over on IG, except for Kimmy and Maurice. Sometimes they'll tweet.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
No, I just wanted to know what you thought about like going forward with her? Like what would this show look like without her?
It will look, that'll be a huge piece missing.
Hmm.
They could put Kimmy as the lead, which was I was thinking last season, like towards the end, that was happening because now she was kind of being the core and
Yeah.
getting all these people together to do stuff. So, but it won't be the same. But if they wanted like Kimmy to lead, she could do it.
Now, this Tia P has a great point. Like when Tisha and Marcel was in their confessional, and Tisha had made a comment about Kimmy and Mel hanging out. Like, I gotta get in there. I gotta get in there with them and see what's going on. Like, if that would happen and Kimmy would be the lead in this,
Mm,
oh, that would be crazy.
mm. It'll be interesting
She would not be able to take it. I know.
because they don't like to take orders from people. They
No.
don't like. Mm-mm. They
Mm-mm.
don't.
No, they don't. They really don't. And I just don't. I don't know. I don't. If Mel would leave, I think. Well, I know a lot of people will stop watching because she has a humongous following.
Yeah.
Because you know that show she had, like right after the show had gone off, it was like what was that? She was doing the woman behind the men or the next to the men or something. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. On.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about though.
Martell messed that up. He came on set and messed that up. They had to stop that. They don't do that show anymore. Yeah,
And from him.
she talked about that. She was like he had come on set and he was ranting and raving and this, that, and the third. He wasn't a part of it. So,
Wow.
because I think how many episodes? 2 episodes? We didn't see that.
Mm-hmm. Is it like behind every man
It was
there's a
something
woman or
like
something
that.
like that? Yeah.
It was something
And
like
he
that.
messed that up.
He
That is
messed
so
it up
crazy.
because it had nothing to do with him. It
Mm.
said behind every man. I think, yeah. So I mean, he is a major screw up, and if you think about it, he's been a major screw up since episode 1, season 1.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he just feels like since he's on, because he'll say, I let Mel do this. This was her idea. I wanted to support her and shop this for her. But I do believe him when he says he wouldn't do it again if he wouldn't be on TV. I believe that 100%.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because what we know about him, like I said earlier, he does not want to be embarrassed. He does not want to be shown up. He does not want to be put in a bad light. He does not want any of that. Like when he was at the Inez Wine thing and he was talking to his uncle, like, don't say things like that. He was telling him that. That was crazy.
He did.
That was insane. So no.
Yeah, most definitely. I wished for better for him, but who
Yeah.
knows if he'll get it together.
Well, I think my last thing is how do you feel like this season is a little bit better than last? Well, I mean, is this a season? This is a new season 4, right? Okay,
Yes, season 5. Yeah.
season 5. So do you feel like the beginning of this season is better than the ending of the last season so
Yes.
far? Okay.
Yes. And how I could say it is because the second half was starting out cool, and then everything was just dragging, and then it was just the Scots were talking about the Holts were talking about the Scots. That's all that was going on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like y'all not even doing anything or saying anything, and then they weren't using Tiffany and Louis, and we were getting all this Destiny stuff.
Oh yes. Oh, Destiny.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
I said it. I said it. I made a post about it. Destiny's final write up. It was
yeah.
it. And I knew it was her final write up when Dustin and Carlos was having that conversation, and Carlos said that if Kimmy can come on here and do 15 hours, how are you going to sit here and tell people what you're not going to film? And then he said, maybe Destiny will listen to you, Dustin, in the audience, and maybe she'll listen to me. When he said that, I was like, she's out of there. She's out of there. And then she doubled down on the show and said, I'm an open book. I think. I was like, what? Girl, you are losing your job. You are crazy.
That was your final exam, and you just blew it.
Failed. And now she has a podcast, and her first guest is Millichun.
I saw that.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to it, but I saw some type of promotion. Yeah.
And so, because Martell let it slip, then he and Millichun was an item at some point in the sheets.
Like in high school or something. It was weird.
Yes. This girl got a whole husband at home.
Mm-hmm.
And
then we didn't see her no more.
I don't think she has him now.
And then we didn't see her no more after that episode.
It was after that particular scene. That was it for Millichun. She did not show back up.
Yeah. It was weird.
It was very weird.
Yeah.
It was very weird. So
yeah.
This has been wonderful, L-Train. Thank you so much for being here. And I thank everybody for being here. And I thank you for all of your comments. Jamie Coleman said if Mel leaves, she definitely won't watch. What is it? Somebody Tia P said, no, I talked about that. Yvette Bell said she just wants Mel to protect herself. And Martell is more concerned about his image than his character. Somebody said Tiffany is pregnant, but her face is not. I cannot. Oh my God. Y'all are amazing. It's crazy. But Tiffany, I'll tell you something about Tiffany. I was really impressed with her at the little red satin gown robe situation. Because she came in there with Barris Blaze. And when she said, I always know what I'm talking about, I was like, okay, Tiffany. Okay.
Now, I'm a Tiffany stan. I know I'm just one. But, No, I liked her from the moment she came on. Did she go far with the whole Maurice son? I don't call him by his nickname, but yes, she did.
Yeah,
but she brought a different temperature to the group because at that point everybody was so familiar with each other. It was just like nothing was really going on unless you had Miss Wanda around to do all the damage, So I think that she at least stirred the pot in a way that was interesting to me to watch, because Destiny was the busybody at that point.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden her tea was being spilled, but then she didn't want to really own it. And then she was taking it out on Tiffany and everyone else. It's like, well, you said this is cold tea, but you're running into the bathroom crying. What was up with that?
Right.
And then it was just so weird. She just kind of like a Martell, just don't want to show your face and not want to be seen in some type of way,
Right.
So I've loved her since the beginning. So
she's had moments with me, but her delivery is just off for me. It's her delivery for me. I like Tiffany. I don't dislike her. I mean, she gonna ask her questions and she gonna get it out there. Now you gotta give her that.
Yeah. You
may not like her, you may like her, but she's definitely gonna get the question out. Now the delivery is going to be all wrong every time, but she's gonna get it out. Let me ask you this last thing. I just thought about it. What do you think about the absence of Miss Wanda? Because a lot of people feel like Stormy's mother is replacing her. Because I think these mothers need to stick with their children. But what do you think about the absence of Wanda?
I'm going to say this. I know you probably got some millimeter people in your audience.
Uh,
I am going to miss her presence
mm-hmm.
because she did bring a lot to the show.
She did.
She took it too far talking about those babies.
She
I
did.
will I will never make an excuse for that. It's just I think that the fame and social media got to her and she
Mm,
just thought that she could just say whatever and do whatever and there was no consequences.
right.
You know, the part with Miss Betty, I don't want to repeat of a Miss Wanda.
I don't.
I I don't want no. Just stop that. I
Yeah.
don't know because it's like we we just handled that situation last season
Yeah.
and and now you coming over here. You may not be attacking Mel like that, but you're just saying I don't like her up
Right.
front. But you're not liking her as a fan,
Right.
basically.
And the fact she told her to shut up in her own event.
Yeah.
Like, I think Mel said 2 words and she was like, shut up. This is what I have to say. I was like, uh-oh. Because
Yeah.
sometimes it feels like when the red light comes on, it's lights, camera, action. Like
Mm.
people just, I don't know. Because, her mother was in the car when out in the Madani parking lot, right?
Mm.
And
Hmm.
that's when all that stuff started with Stormy's mom and Mel.
Hmm. Yeah. I'm not on there. I'm not even on Facebook, but I know that I guess she's in those chat rooms that Love
Hmm.
and Marriage has, and
Yeah,
I
she
guess
said she's not leaving. She said she's not leaving them.
she's like, I'm gonna give my opinion. I don't care. I'm like,
Yep.
lady. And according to like Stormy, when she had her interview with Carlos, that she's tried to get her to say, hey, stop that because it's going to reflect me. It's
Right.
not she's gonna get the bigger blow than what she does because of what she do on social media. It's like have a little care in that regards, but
Right. And
I
then
don't know.
she probably in groups telling stuff she doesn't need to be telling,
Hmm.
so I don't know how this is gonna go. But I wonder, are we gonna see Wanda though?
I don't know. Some people said that she's not. Well, she said that she wasn't off the show,
Hmm.
but I don't know for sure
Yeah.
because there was supposed to be a party for Macy,
Hmm.
and people. I don't believe it. That she was kicked out of there because they were filming,
Oh,
and production told her to go. Like, I don't think they would do that. You
but
could easily.
then, but then would they though?
I don't know. I'm hearing that Mel's got all these restrictions. She can't be here and all that. That's what I'm hearing. It's just until I see it, I don't know. And then what Destiny does show up at Martell's magazine launch thing or whatever. So is she on film or what?
I think she's on film, but I don't think she's mic'd. But we will see that.
Right.
And if she
But
is mic'd, or if she's next to someone who's mic'd, you may hear her. But I think that may be it.
mhm.
I mean, I don't know.
I think if I can go back to Miss Betty, I think that's going to shift off of Bell pretty soon
Hmm.
because Carlos says that there's some episodes up the road where she's getting into it with her family. Like I guess her sister gonna come on and all this good
Oh,
stuff. They don't like physically fight, but they definitely got words exchanges.
to
So
my Miss Betty and her sisters,
yeah, yeah,
we're gonna
there's
see
stuff.
that.
Yeah, because she's very opinionated about stuff. So stuff is going to come up pretty soon. So I don't know how long they're going to stick on this with between her and Mel, but I don't think it's going to be exactly like Miss Wanda. But I don't know.
Do we want to see her and her sisters fighting?
I mean, a different family dynamic,
Okay.
but it's mostly opinionated stuff.
Okay.
So and until I know the subject matter, I'll be like, am I interested or not to hear whatever's going on, Because
Right.
she just lets anything come out of her mouth.
Anything. the fact that I couldn't get over the fact she told Mel to shut up. I was like, wow, really?
Yeah. Hopefully that was edited a certain way. Hopefully that was.
Oh my goodness.
Because it would have been over. Like, we're done. No more
Yeah.
etiquette. We're
And the look
done.
on Mel's face was a lot. Somebody is Yvette is saying that Wanda was at the Expo. I'm sorry. Yvette said that Wanda was at the Expo. So maybe we will see her at some point.
Yeah. Just not in the same role.
Not in the same room.
Yeah. So we shall see.
We shall see. Well, this has been lovely. And hang back. I want to talk to you after we get off of here. But I want to thank everybody for being here. Yvette, Tammy, Tia. I thank you for all of your comments. Everybody who commented, thank you so much. What is it? Jamie, Angela, Shakita, thank you so much for being here. Candace, I appreciate y'all for coming. Dadiva, thank you so much. Anne Marie. And thank you so much, L-Train. I really, really, really appreciate you being here. I value everything, your standpoint, your viewpoint. I wanted to talk to you because I like the way you review your things and everything. And this was wonderful. So we will definitely do this again. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate coming. I thank you for allowing me to be here. And I appreciate your views too. And I understand where you're coming from. And understand that how things could trigger you. I don't think that it makes you turn a certain way as a lot of viewers do, even in what you have experienced and can relate to Mel's story. So I like that.
And when I said it triggered me, like it really was about the kids because, like, for my personal situation, you're not going to find that on the internet, right? You can't click on anything and find what happened in this particular situation. But their children will be able to log on to YouTube and go to on TV whatever, and see their dad yelling at their mom, their grandmom, their production, and he wasn't even supposed to be there. And then like everything else, like in season 1, when Kimmy and Maurice was getting married and they had that conversation on the boat, it's out there forever because you lied on that. You said you was with Big Ari for 1 year and she was like, you still lying, and then 2 years. So it's out there that you actually cheated on their mother.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this. I don't feel like, I was having a conversation last night on live. These men are not really the men you want to put out for the world to be a model. Does that make sense? You got Marceau, the supreme gaslighter. I like Marceau because he blocked me on Instagram, but he follows it up with something, right? You got Martell, who is a supreme narcissist, and just and then Maurice is like he's trying to figure it out. I think Maurice was his best last season with Kimmy. I liked him a lot last season because he was definitely a husband. You know what I mean? Now that's what I'm talking about. Give me a show where we have men who are doing their duties, not gaslighting their wife, not listening to their wife, but end up listening to a stranger. And now you have to go back to your wife and say, you know what? I'm sorry. I was trying to shield you from this, but this is what's going on. Like it took somebody else to tell him that. That's why I said what's his name? Make him a permanent cast member. He needs to be with Marceau every day. In every episode with Tisha, he needs to be right there. Just in case he says something crazy. Let's rephrase that. He needs that. I just don't think these men are good models for husbands and leaders of their home. I personally don't think so. I enjoy them on TV, but this is not what you need to try to do, fellas. If you don't do it, this is what not to do. Do you
Like,
agree? How do you feel about that?
I have a certain mindset when I watch this show. I know what I'm gonna get. So, so it's like when I expect what the Scots gonna do and all that. I also think of some of the mentality of, I know you're from the South, of Southerners. It's still traditional.
Hmm.
It's kind of like they're trying to mix modern and traditional together, but it's not. It's clashing all at
Yeah.
the same time.
Yes.
So how they are, no, because Kimmy says that she, when she was talking with Tisha, when Tisha was like, "Well, it looks like you just got Maurice to back you and all that." It's like, no, you don't know what it really takes, and that's what I was seeing all the time as to how she got to talk to him in a certain way, and he still don't really get it. He's still trying to manipulate his way into the whole situation.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, okay, because I didn't see that up front, but especially last season, and probably the season before, I was really paying attention to their relationship as to how he really demonstrates that it's really my way, and she has to still come up behind him
And
and
try to make him
yeah,
understand. Like you saw her asking Kimmy. She says she's been married the longest, but she wants advice from Kimmy on how to. He put her out of her office. Like, okay, if her office is at Black, I've been to Black. Like, I know exactly where Black is. If she
mm,
is in North Huntsville, she has made a trek. I need you to understand. She's made a trek to go somewhere. Because Kimmy was like, how you way out here?
I remember her saying that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like how could you just cool with sitting in your office across from this guy who you allow to do anything in the office that you want to do, but you're not concerned that your wife is out here trying to find a Starbucks or some type of coffee shop with Wi-Fi so she can get her work done?
yeah,
That's crazy.
it is very, and he don't respect her at all. It's just like
No, he
I
doesn't.
he just wants her in the house
Yep, that's it.
doing that's it.
And I'm glad to know that somebody, a man, feels like that because I was like, I don't know what men are saying. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know what men are really saying. Like, I don't want it, like somebody said on here, we do not want our kids growing up thinking that this is how men are supposed to be. Like if your kids just happen to watch TV. Like even um Tisha's son said to her, I wouldn't talk to my spouse. My spouse couldn't talk to me like that.
Hmm.
I was like, out of the mouths of babes. Are y'all not listening to these children?
Right. They tell me what's up. And
Yes.
but
Well,
so
oh
go
gosh.
ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so it's like that. I actually said at the end of the season, I I garnered um Tisha as most improved.
Okay.
And I said it from the standpoint, at least she was speaking up for herself.
Mm-hmm.
Marcel has this way of getting her to cower down. For a
Mm-hmm.
while, like when she was going to Dr. Francis, she was very confident with him,
Mm-hmm.
but he works at her and works at her and works at her to finally make her cower down. I
And she
see
does.
the I see that mental manipulation that goes on with him a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of like you said, I have this love hate relationship with Marcel. It's like sometimes you be saying some good
Crazy.
stuff, and then
Yes.
other times it's like, why are you saying that? Like, it's like he can have good moments,
Mm-hmm.
and then he just it's just weird, you know?
I thought his best moment was with his dad. I
Mm,
thought that was the best moment. I at that moment, I was like, I really hope he listens because he does work a lot. And Tisha does want him home a lot. She does want to do stuff. You know, she may
hmm.
want to go to Africa herself. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I love that scene with the dad. I saw him in a different light. So I'm on and off with Marcel.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
have my days when I like them and other days, nope. Nope.
Yep. Well, we're going for real this time, y'all. And thank everybody. I think somebody came in, shows style and spirit. Thank you for being here. Thank you all for thank you for your comments. And we'll be back at some point. And L-Train, I'll talk to you in a second. Just stay right here.
Okay.
And thank you all again for being here, Millichun TV. And I'll be back with something else. Bye, y'all.
Bye.